Hello, my name is Sin, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Flashe XSleeve, how I like it so far after 2 weeks of use, and I'll also be talking about the benefits of a compression sleeve and who would benefit the most from it. I would also like to thank Flashe Gaming for sending out these two sleeves, one XSleeve and one of their original ones, out for review, and also providing me with a discount code, which was very nice of them. However, as you may or may not know, this doesn't affect my opinion at all, and my video is unbiased and my views are my own. So let's jump into the first part of the review, which is talking about the crown jewel, what most of you clicked on this video for anyways, the XSleeve, which has a PTFE covered bottom that is supposed to give you a better glide with your mousepad opposed to just a normal sleeve or your bare arm. Now, before I swapped over from the Hien, I was using a basic arm sleeve like this one that I got from Amazon, and I had no problems with it, but due to the Zero's weave, vertical arm movements became very hard to do as the mousepad seemed to stick onto my arm, and using an arm sleeve actually made this quite a bit worse. So my search for an alternative started as I love the surface of the Zero, however disliked the fact that I couldn't move my arm as freely as I wanted it to. So I decided to try out the XSleeve PTFE sleeve. The bottom of the sleeve is covered with a material called Teflon or PTFE, which is the same material used on the bottom of your mouse for your mouse skates. Now, what this helps with is the friction between the mousepad and your arm is reduced drastically, giving you an easier glide. This is especially useful if you feel like you get caught on your mousepad too much, like I did with the Zero. I will be honest, at first I thought it would be very gimmicky and too gamery without any practical use to it, but once I actually got to spend some time with it, I noticed that I actually really enjoyed the sleeve. But there's also some constructive criticism that I can give Flashe with aspects that they can do better to eventually make this an endgame gaming sleeve from this already solid product. The PTFE part of the X sleeve is well built, and the contact between the mousepad feels very smooth and it doesn't feel scratchy. This is a very unique idea, and I'm really glad that someone had the innovation to stitch a Teflon layer onto an arm sleeve, and currently it is the only product on the market that has this feature. My initial issues with the Zero were gone after using the X-Sleeve as it stopped the pad from tugging to my arm, so since I had a problem and the X-Sleeve gave me a solution, I am quite happy with it. I will now demonstrate how each sleeve glides on my Artisan Zero. Cheap Amazon gaming sleeve. The original sleeve. And finally the PTFE covered X sleeve. Keep in mind I applied the same pressure to each arm sleeve to make the tests fair. As you can see, the PTFE covering definitely reduces the friction between your arm and the pad. The PTFE padding at the bottom might make mousepads too fast for some people that like the extra control that you get with your arm, so the X sleeve might not be for you. I also heard that it can be too fast on hard surfaces, like the SkyPad, so keep that in mind, but for my testing, the X sleeve works great with artisan pads, like the Hien and the Zero, and really complements them. However, having a PTFE base also adds some problems, especially with flexibility and breathability. Since PTFE isn't as breathable as the top part of the sleeve, you're bound to get sweatier at the part that your arm is covered by it, and PTFE isn't the softest material, which means at points like your elbow, it might not be the most comfortable as the sleeve tends to fold. These aren't the biggest issues for me, as I don't sweat a lot and I forget that the arm sleeve is on after 5 minutes of use, but I heard some people definitely complain about it and wanted to point it out. Overall, the PTFE bottom is definitely worth it. It is a great idea that works wonders with my pad, and really gives me the glide that I desired but couldn't get with other sleeves. However, if Flashe could make the PTFE part of the sleeve a bit more flexible and breathable, it would definitely enhance the experience. I also wanted to compare the X sleeve to my older arm sleeve that I got off Amazon for $6. Now the XSleeve comes into around $23 with the discount code, which is definitely a premium and a bit too much in my opinion. So paying a premium, you would definitely expect the product to be well made, and the XSleeve doesn't disappoint. Now I don't really have any idea of what happened here, but my $6 sleeve has really died out. It's ripped, and as you can see, the rubber part has started to fall out. But this is in like half a year's worth of use. So yeah, the build quality is nowhere as good as the X sleeve gets, but I guess that is what you paid for, and at this price point, the X sleeve is very, very well built. Also, the X sleeve is made from a more nylon stretchy material compared to the sock of my X sleeve. which definitely does feel better on the arm, the more stretchy nylon material. However, there's a weak point in the sleeve, so if you end up buying it, please don't use this little thumb part, as it does tend to rip like it happened to Shoot Mania Andy. I wouldn't recommend using that part anyways, it is not flexible and it feels like you're tugging your thumb muscles, but not using it doesn't bring up any issues where it drags or whatnot, so it's great that you have an option. Nevertheless, at $23, you're getting a well-built sleeve that will last you eons if you take proper care of it. Um, See it like you're buying for life rather than a sleeve that's an expendable item. When you look at it that way, $23 doesn't seem that much when considering how long that this thing will last you. Now, for general talk about compression sleeves are widely used in sports for their benefits like increase in blood circulation, less muscle stress, and faster recovery. But as you can see from the size of my arms, I'm not really a sports kind of guy, so gaming has been the only place that I've actually used a sleeve. Now, I do feel like I perform better with the sleeve, but I feel like this is more because of the gliding properties rather than the squishy muscle ones. But the science is there, so it is up to you to decide if those benefits are for you or not. Compression sleeves are especially useful for gamers that use medium to low sends because of the increase in arm movement. If you use high send, I don't think it would really benefit you a lot since you're using more of your hand rather than your arm, so you won't really require a sleeve. So that's about it for this review. Definitely a solid product. If you're interested in buying it, make sure to use code SIN20 at checkout. It will give you a 20% discount while also supporting the channel out. If you aren't already subscribed, please make sure to do so, and peace.